All right, we're coming to you today with a special guest. We fly people in from all over the country, literally, to come to here to be on just from the shed. I've got Bernie here with me today. Bernie, glad to have you.
Oh, thank you so much.
He's here with me today from Florida. As I shared with you, we bring people in from literally all over the country uh, to uh, to be on this program. And Bernie's a pretty long trip to get here, wasn't it?
It sure was, but it was fun.
That's
It
what's
was
important.
fun.
That's what's important. Bernie, uh, this shed is 8 feet by 10 feet. That's what it is.
hmm
Have you ever seen so much junk in one little place in your life?
Well, it's nice. It's all arranged, but I'm just kind of looking for one thing.
What are you looking for?
Well, I'm just hoping I don't find a banjo.
There's no
There's no
banjo.
banjos?
I do have a machete. I've got a machete.
Well,
I'm wearing a
I don't know. I think
sledgehammer.
I'd rather have the machete than the banjo.
I am missing that, but I will get one.
Oh, not in the shed. The banjo in the shed, I don't think that's too good now. I don't
We
know.
are, you know, Bernie, tell me something about growing up. What are some of your memories growing up as a young man?
Oh God, growing up, I had a great childhood.
Hmm.
I had go-karts,
Hmm.
ponies.
Right,
We had a in-ground pool growing up,
right.
and my father was a pharmacist, and he
Uh-huh.
owned his own drugstore.
Uh-huh.
And I grew up in that drugstore till I was a grown man, and
Yeah.
worked in that store. But as a little boy, it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
My dad was a pharmacist,
Uh-huh.
and it was just a good life,
Huh.
good childhood, great.
Yeah. How many years was your dad a pharmacist?
Oh God, he was a pharmacist. He kept his license. Now he retired when he was about 65, like
Right.
normal age.
Right.
But he kept his license till he was 85, and finally he let it go because we talked him into letting it go. Because we asked him, "Are you going to ever go back and do pharmacy?"
Right.
He said no. So we let it go. He
Yeah.
let it go.
Yeah. 85. He lived. How long did he live?
He lived to 92.
92.
92.
That's a long life.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is.
Long life, nice, good life. He was married to my mother, 62 years.
Right.
I never heard him say a curse word,
Mm-hmm.
or they never got into an argument. I've
Mhm.
never seen anything like
Right.
that. And he was a good Catholic church going man,
Mhm.
and he had us all in church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a great life,
Mm-hmm.
great life.
Well, yeah, I think that says a lot. I mean, and there's a, it seems like sometimes the people that have the worst problems seem to get the most attention,
hmm
but we forget there's just people like, I grew up the same way. Like my mom and dad. I mean, I had a good life, and and they were good to me, and I thought I grew up very good,
hmm
and I mean, just I did. I was blessed, and uh, and I think there's a lot more of that out there than what we let on. We see things that people that do have a lot of problems, a lot of issues, but we forget that there's a lot of them that don't. That things work out good for people.
hmm
And I was sharing this morning with my cousin Dwayne. We were talking about stuff, and I said, I'm not that good at anything, but I'm not a quitter.
hmm
Okay. And I think I used to tell people that work for me, I said, half the way, the biggest thing is just showing up for work first thing.
Right,
And don't be a quitter.
right.
Don't be a quitter. And I think
hmm
that's important in life, not to be a quitter.
It sure is.
Now you got to know when to stop doing something. If it's a business that's going under, or if it's
hmm
something that's like that. Well, tell me, did you do what you had a few odd businesses and things that you've done?
I did. After my dad sold the drugstore, I tried life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So I was young at the time. And when you're young doing life insurance, it's kind of hard. The seniors, they
Right.
had an established debit at the time. You didn't mail it in at the time when I did it. I
Mm-hmm.
did it when I was 18, and you would go around and collect your insurance premium.
Right.
And that's how you got in the door to sell more insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just hard to do as a young man.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did real estate. I got a real estate license, and that wasn't too bad. Real estate was all right, but being working for my dad my whole life, it was hard to work for someone else.
Right.
So I started a little lawn business that turned out
Mm-hmm.
to be a nice lawn business,
Right.
and I built up. I started with a little push mower and a Ford Escort,
Mm-hmm.
and that turned out to be. Eventually it turned out to be a truck, a trailer with two big tractors on the back,
Mm-hmm.
and like between 60 and 100 accounts. You
Yeah.
lose some, you gain some.
Right.
and that was the best. I did that for 20 years. And you have to like grass. You have to like to cut grass. If you don't like cutting grass, I wouldn't recommend it.
Right.
But it was good. I like to do that. It was good, and that's what I did. I sold the business and then went to Florida and retired.
Uh-huh. And you know, I think there's a lot of times I think there's always ways to make money if you want to.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I get opportunities, and I'm sure you have in the past too. People that come and say, "Hey, I got this opportunity for a business or this or that," and there's always ways out there that I believe sometimes. Now, you have to put something into it to do it, like you're talking about, like
Hmm.
I'm sure that you did
Oh yeah.
in that type of business. But you know, if you're out there and you want to do something, first thing you just and nowadays there's so much stuff that you can do remotely if
Hmm.
you want to do things like that.
Hmm.
But nothing takes the place of, like you're talking about, a hands-on business that's service oriented.
Right.
You know what I mean? When it comes down to cutting grass or plumbing a house or electric or doing something, I mean, in the end, there's such a feeling of accomplishment on those type of things, isn't there?
It sure is. Well, sales came easy to me, and sales come easy to me, and I was able to run this ad every spring because I was doing it in Maryland, where it was just during the spring, summer, and fall,
Hmm.
and I was able to run this ad where everybody would just call this ad,
Hmm.
and I mean, no matter what, I just got bombarded in the spring with new customers.
Hmm.
And that was because of the ad. And it was easy for me to do that,
Right.
come up with that ad. And I used that ad every season,
Hmm.
and it just worked out good for me.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think sometimes, people forget that, but there's the simpleness of a business and starting a business, doing
Hmm.
something like that, because
Hmm.
it can get so complicated. And and I've shared this before. I think there's a business I would like to do that I haven't done because I just don't want to, but I do want to. I will always love to sell lemonade.
Hmm.
I see these people at fairs and stuff like that, and they'll
Sure.
have a trailer sitting there with
Right.
lemonade. And I think the whole gimmick is this, and you might think about this a minute. Now they sit out and they got this big lemonade thing going on, right?
Hmm.
And they got all these lemons they cut in half, and they put your cup up under there, and they squirt out that lemon down that half a lemon. Then they reach over to this big cooler, and they pull this in there. I think they're pulling Minute Maid or something in that. I don't believe they're not just putting water in there with that lemon. I mean, the lemon is the gimmick. Okay, they're cutting the lemon
Right.
in half and acting like, here we got the fresh squeezed lemonade. But then what they're doing, I believe it's Minute Maid or something like
Well, that's called gimmick
that.
lemonade.
Yeah,
That's
gimmick
that's
aid.
gimmick aid.
I think, but I watch that and I think, now, man, and I think it's a tremendous idea. I mean, yeah, $3, $4 a cup, people pay it, just sit there and just.
Well, we had a neighbor, and she invited us down, and they swore that her chili was the best chili.
Yeah.
Well, we went down and we got the chili,
Uh-huh.
and it was good, and it reminded me of Wendy's chili. So I believe that she was going up to Wendy's and getting like 10 cups of it and putting it in her crock pot and serving her chili.
Yeah.
But it was great. But we did ask for the recipe
Right.
just to make sure.
Yeah.
And we did make it, but it still wasn't as good as hers. We went by that recipe to a T,
Yeah.
and it just still didn't taste like that.
Yeah.
That's why I think it was Wendy's chili.
Well, when it comes to cooking, what do you like to cook or what do you like to fix?
Well, I like to cook, now that I'm on a good diet, they want you on a good diet after you hit a certain age.
Yeah, right.
So I cook the salmon. I'll cook salmon. Eat a lot of salmon a week, 3 times a week.
Hmm.
And I'll cook the hamburgers. I'll fry the hamburgers.
Right.
But the sides, usually Debbie cooks the sides and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But we'll try things off the internet,
Mhm.
recipes off the internet,
Right.
and we just try different things all the time. But no favorite dish. I like to
Mhm.
eat everything.
Yeah. I like fried potatoes, but I'm trying not to fix as many of them as I used to because I shouldn't eat them that much. But man, I love fixing fried potatoes. Something about fried potatoes. I just enjoy fixing fried potatoes. I don't know.
Well, I like to tell you, I like the hash brown from McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Nobody can touch the McDonald's hash brown or anything from
Yeah.
McDonald's. Nobody can beat
Yeah,
that.
I enjoy it. And, I haven't never fixed salmon. I've not fixed it. Janice keeps asked me about it several times about fixing some up. I never have really fixed it. Do you grill it, bake it?
We bake it. Yeah, we'll bake it. We have a grill, but we bake salmon because that's what the recipes call for.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we'll just put salt and pepper on it,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we'll put a marinade on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to do it different times because salmon, you'll get bored with it.
Right.
So you have to do it different ways. And same with our chicken. We'll bake our chicken and we'll do barbecue chicken,
Mm-hmm.
or she'll come up with a recipe, some type of that you bake it in.
Mm-hmm.
Marinade, probably
Right.
marinade.
Right.
But just about everything. We just have to try stuff new. We
Yeah.
like to try new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we still do traditional.
Yeah.
We'll do traditional too.
I like that too. One thing let's talk about that you and I are in total agreement on, I know. Using the app and getting your points when you buy stuff.
Oh, that's great. I think we're in competition. I think we're in competition on the points.
Bernie and I are real big on using. Listen, if you're not using the McDonald's app, if you eat at McDonald's, it's crazy. You should be using it, or the Hardee's app, or the Wendy's app. I'm telling you, you get. For example, I use the Hardee's app a lot because I like their gravy better than I do McDonald's. But anyway, I get a gravy and biscuit in the morning and a sausage biscuit, and I get my drink. But I get my drink free about all the time, which is $2.99, which is overpriced at Hardee's. But I get my drink free because I use my points.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and we take those things. But if you're out there, I think people should use them, shouldn't they?
Oh, definitely, most definitely the points. But the thing is about I like to use a lot of points at one time, but they only let you use the points for one item, or you have to come back a half hour later
Right.
to use the points. So that part I don't like.
Right.
But we were at McDonald's once, and we sat down at the table, and the tables have numbers.
Right.
So I said, well, watch this. So I ordered something from online, and here it comes to the table.
Yeah.
That was an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
So then I ordered something else, a drink. Online, you have to do it.
Right.
Here it comes. So they're waiting on you at McDonald's now, and it's free.
Yeah.
So you can't beat it.
You can't beat
It was great.
I say use your points.
Use your points.
Use your points, man. You got to use them. And I use them all the time. I do it all the time. I would rather save money than I would make money. I mean, it's so easy.
Oh yeah.
It's
Nowadays,
so easy. When
as
you
we
take,
get older, you want to save money.
yeah,
That's for sure.
You take stuff like that, you can save a little money going along, and there's no sense in it. And it becomes it's it becomes like a game you get to do, and I like doing it. I enjoy doing it. Well, all right. I'm glad to have Bernie here with me today, right in from Florida. If you were in some part of the country and you'd like to fly in here on your dime and stay and pay for your own meals and do stuff like that and be on the program, we wouldn't mind at all. We could live to do that. Couldn't we?
We
Like
sure can. Sure
and
can.
Bernie's been almost a week getting ready just to do this program.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
He's been on there. All right. You've been watching Just from the Shed. Be sure and like and follow and everything else you're supposed to do. Adios.